Let me share this real quick. Whoa, wrong way. It's been a while for this. There just hasn't been time with all the sports and all the different things. And the Braves on the West Coast and 13 straight games and all that stuff. So finally got a day off in a window. Let's do this.
The only reason I would say is there's no question that makes sense. He's 6'7". So to start with your head so low, then raise your head.
The Braves having the best record in baseball and doing what we're doing so far is kind of insane given all of the rotation questions and different injuries that we thought were going to be an issue. You got the emergence of J.R. Ritchie keeping you in ball games. Chris Sale doing Chris Sale things. Obviously, Ronaldo Lopez and Grant Holmes are in a bit of flux, but we're still figuring that out. And Martin Perez being the just make sure you do this.
Against Brandon Young. And they're expecting Trevor Rogers to pitch tomorrow night in Game 2 against Will Warren. To me, that is a significant start. Not just for Trevor Rogers.
But in doing all that in a 6-3 road trip on the West Coast without Ronald Acuna Jr. for the most of it, it really is amazing. In the bullpen, doing the bullpen. I know Tyler Kenley's been roughed up recently, but I think that's because he had to be kind of overused with Raisel Iglesias' shoulder issue. It's really incredible what the Braves have been able to do. Mauricio Dubon, we got him for Nick Allen. That's incredible. I think Nick Allen had I don't know, he had 9 hits total in the second half last year, and Mauricio Dubon already has 23 RBIs. Obviously, the Cubs is going to be a tough series, but they are 500 on the road, so we'll see how that goes. I think we have Grant Holmes, Ritchie, and Chris Sale lined up. But once Ronald comes back, which I think will be later in the week, he's eligible to come off Wednesday, but I would think it's closer to the weekend, just because of you just want to make sure. And obviously, Michael Harris getting back with his quad, being able to be in center field. The concussion for Eli White is unfortunate after that amazing play yesterday, saving the game pretty much, saving the series. Ozzie doing Ozzie things again. Matt Olson, MVP level. Austin Riley starting to figure things out a little bit. Obviously, the concern, and I've been critical of Yaz, and I'm sure he's been critical of himself. That's the one position we haven't really figured out yet. And we haven't figured out left field at a consistent basis in years, honestly. But left field seems to be that black hole. Not that Yaz, slumps are slumps, but I think it's the overall slump, both defensively and offensively. Maybe just trying to do too much. What's up, Wells? How many times has the Yankees played the Orioles? I feel like they played them the entire. Yeah, we are. It honestly doesn't feel real. Yeah, I guess given the last 2 years of how much crap we went through, honestly. But I'm just trying to enjoy the ride. Uh, yeah, I mean the Brewers are good. They're always good. I mean they've been a little bit more inconsistent, but you caught their best three, and Jacob Mizorowski helping me in fantasy. Sorry about that, but yeah, I mean it's just the Rays just keep coming too. So I think that's gonna be a fun race. Really fun. But yeah, the Braves are rolling, and it's weird too because there's been so many interchangeable pieces and different things that have gone on, and we haven't really got anything from left field from Yaz, Mike Yastrzemski. I mean, Dubon being there has kind of helped that, but a lot of different things in the rotation too. So it's not like a consistent and just the mixing and matching that I'm not used to, and it working out and it being fun, and we're winning games in so many different ways. Obviously, kind of a tough week with Bobby and Ted Turner passing away, with all that, plus the baseball of it all. But yeah, I mean it's been an amazing ride so far, and hopefully we can keep it going. Finally beating the Dodgers. Yeah, when do I think the Yankees play the Braves at some point this year, don't they? June, I think we can do a live watch together if we can pull that one off. Yeah, but that and the message that my uncle sends me every birthday and every year, and it's the Braves and Yankees in the World Series is his birthday wish, and it might actually happen this year, or it could happen. It's probably one of the first years that it could happen in a while. It'd be interesting. But yeah, Spencer Jones has a lot of movement in his swing. I just uh I just watched it, and it doesn't make a lot of sense, but yeah, we'll try to set that up. I'll look at the schedule, and we'll text and figure that one out. Um uh, yeah. What's up? Yeah, Joseph, that catch was awesome. Unfortunate for the concussion, but again, guys, that's the difference between the Braves of the last couple of years. It's like everybody's contributing, no matter who we put up, where we put them. I mean, there may be struggles because baseball is hard from some. Riley, although I think Riley's coming out of it. Yaz being the big one, but everybody's contributing. Mateo, and we're getting House and Kim back. Yeah, Bobby Cox and Ted Turner. That's a tough pill to swallow, but
fathom how good this young man is going to be.
But I love them because the Braves wouldn't be the Braves without them. And a lot of us wouldn't be a fan of the Braves without them. So it's, you love what you love, and that's the beauty of it. And the boys played really good baseball. I know there was a couple of annoying ones in there, and hopefully we can kind of get a Tyler Kinley some rest so that he doesn't get overused, because I think that's really what it is. And obviously you're going to go through slumps as a pitcher as well. It's just kind of more glaring and more noticeable when pitchers do get into slumps, because you're somewhat on an island. Very cool. There's so many those memories will never leave, and that's the big thing. I have a poster back here of Bobby in his standard wrong way, but there you go. In his standard spot. My cousin Lauren got it for me. So I always thought, what I said it in my video, but what nickname would he have for me? Just because he's always had a nickname for everybody, and things that he did for every player. And I think obviously the social media era is way more critical of players when they're in slumps and things of that nature. And I'm a culprit of that as well, especially with Yaz and some of our pitchers. But I think we can learn that, or I hope I can, to say that slumps are slumps and they're gonna happen to every player. And Bobby Cox's ability to be able to ride it out and still trust you to come up with a big hit or to do something positive. And I think Brian Snicker and Walt Weiss have taken that mantra, even though you're trying to win every game. But the reality is these guys are human, and that's, and I hope that I can do it that way. Yeah, they did, and he was for many, and it's great. And I think, not that you ever want, but when your heroes pass away, and things of that nature, obviously you never want that. But I think that could give an extra little. Not that you need extra little, but this season might feel even more different and more impactful because Bobby's gone now. And hopefully we can continue to do things special. And the way our roster is and the way we've done it, I think this is the most complete and versatile roster, and we're still technically not healthy with Ronald, and hopefully Sean's okay. He can't catch a break. We'll find out tomorrow with his fingers. His fingers and how they are. But it's just kind of one of those, you got to give guys grace. I mean, Ha-Sung Kim and Sean Murphy, it's basically spring training on the fly, even though they had deep rehab assignments. So to expect them to be ready and raring to go and exactly on time is probably a little bit unfair, just like it was unfair to judge Spencer Strider's first start in Colorado, because Colorado is just a different beast. It is. and these might sound like excuses, but honestly, they're realities that can be construed into excuses, and I try to make sure that you differentiate the two when it comes to criticizing XYZ. And I think I've been a little too critical of Yaz. I mean, he's been very, very, very poor, but I mean, it's his first year with us, trying to do too much. And he did have a fantastic spring training, so there is that as well. So I'll just say that same with Aaron Bummer, even though you're not going to be able to do much with that because it's a $9.5 million contract and option, as it were. Um, so I mean, Aaron Bummer's probably. I'm trying to figure out Ronaldo Lopez. Is it just mechanical? Is it health? Is it um? Is it something different? Because he's been okay as a reliever, but it's not exactly smooth. He hasn't. He gave up a couple of runs in the last inning in Colorado and LA that he pitched. So just kind of trying to figure that out. So I think the bullpen roles are still going to be defined. Grant Holmes, is his regular spot in the bullpen, or I think he profiles better as a reliever, but he's also kept us in the ball game very, very well. For the most part, I mean, he had that clunker in Colorado, but again, kept us in the ball game, and it doesn't look necessarily pretty with Grant Holmes, but it's like no pictures on the scorecard. Same with J.R. Ritchie. Command issues got him in Seattle, and waiting too long got him in Seattle to pull him, kind of thing. But you make those choices, and you'll live with them as they are. But I think that I think we really miss a guy like Joey Winter or just the Jesse Chavez type, where you can put him in any situation and you pretty much think they're going to succeed. And Martin Perez has been so good in the rotation. Again, another no pictures on the scorecard type, because sometimes you're going to see 4 or 5 walks, but he's able to work through it and work around it and work with it. So that's a big big so I think that's awesome. And obviously you got Schwellenbach, Waldrop, those guys rehabbing. Obviously they're farther away, but they could be second half of the season types. So, and obviously I think you can be more aggressive with the Jerks and Pro Farm money. The whether that be with extensions or acquiring somebody or some things of that nature. So as we hit the quarter pole of the season, it just feels like everything. Obviously, you're gonna have clunkers and you're gonna have bad series and bad games, but only losing one series, West Coast in Seattle.
I'm hotter than Kiss. I'm just telling you. The way he took that pitch right there.
It just feels really good, and I think being able to bounce back after the rough one on Monday or whatever day that was, Friday in LA, going 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position, I think you would worry more if you're not getting those chances because again, we keep coming through for the most part, and that was like the one game where we didn't come through with a lot.
Kobe's got the coolest stance, the swing, got the look. He's good at any position he gets.
Um,
So that ball, he's sitting there. If you get one inside, we may see that home run. Just call. This monkey's in the 413 position.
so
Don't throw it. The two best defensive left fielders right now. Go off the sizzle.
so it's fun. We're winning because of our defense. We're winning because of clutch hitting. We're winning because of pitching. We're winning because of so many different things. And I think that, and the reality of comebacks, and you don't want to, rely on comebacks, but that's helping too. And you feel like we have a chance every single time that we,
That's some nice throws and a couple nice games that I've watched anyway. I remember you watched this World Series. I was in
that we are.
a few years ago. That World Series rematch.
The Canes, it's fantastic. 8-0 is 8-0. I don't care who we're playing or whatever, the blah, blah, blah. 8-0 in the playoffs is historic. It's amazing. Just trying to live it game by game. And just take it game by game. I know that's cliche, but just enjoying the ride. Feel really good. I honestly would rather play Buffalo than Montreal, just because we didn't solve Dovish in the regular season, so for me there. But whatever happens, I'm gonna be excited to watch, and it's been awesome. It's insane, and I'm so excited for the Canes. But between the Canes, the Braves, living my best life right now. Obviously, the Hornets fell short, but that's exciting. 2 draft picks in the top 18. Can't complain too much about that. So sports wise, everything's going pretty swimmingly at the moment. I will say one of my predictions, just randomly, will be that Tony Vitello does not last until the All-Star break for the Giants. That's just a weird situation. And weird and unfortunate, just like Boston. But I think since Boston pulled the trigger, it's going to give more teams permission slips to fire their coaches faster. The Phillies. But just, taking it game by game and taking it series by series with all my teams, just kind of taking Bobby Cox's advice. Just win every series you play, and don't make one game more bigger than it is. Yeah, I think Acuna will come back probably closer to this weekend. I don't think it'll be Wednesday, just because I think Walt Weiss said he has a few more boxes to check, and you want to be as cautious as possible. And I saw something that somebody said that too much depth is a bad thing. It's not. Houston Kim will be our starting shortstop. Dubon will be the rotating role. Now, Dom Smith might get his playing time slash, but he's been solid as a pinch hitter. And Walt Weiss. Sorry for the allergies. I think that Walt Weiss has the pulse of this team. He knows what he's doing. And to know that we have that much depth, especially on the infield, Alex Anthopoulos made that a point after the last couple of years. Now maybe the outfield, not necessarily as deep, but not a bad thing. And I think once Yaz finds some consistency, I think we're going to be fine.
But it's the whole complement of his pitches that makes him the pitcher he is. You wouldn't watch him.
Probably it'll probably still be Dubon because Dubon crushes lefties. You mean against a righty is a little bit more of a question, but
he could have been in our seven guys quietly having a good season. But not really, because he's quietly had a good career. This is his sixth season with the Tampa Bay Rays.
So that against a lefty, you know what you're getting. And the Braves have been fantastic against lefties. I mean, maybe you could hide Dom Smith in left. If you wanted to get him more at bats. But this is a thing where but Walt Weiss has the pulse of the team, so I don't think it's gonna be as big of an issue as some have made it out to be, honestly. But we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely right. Certain players have been told, hey, your paycheck does not equate to challenging.
Yeah, Ozzy has been so fantastic, and being that great bad ball hitter again, and just crushing, and it's such a awesome. Awesome at bats every which way, and even walking. I mean, he swings at everything, but he's even at a better walk rate. So is Michael Harris. Like the at bats and the even on a couple times in the Mariners series, like we had 45 foul balls against Brandon Wu, but it didn't matter because Brandon Wu was on his game. And same with the Dodgers game one. We had like 30, 35, 40 foul balls. We just couldn't put them in play. We're still bad at ABS, but we've gotten better. I'll say that. But I wish Austin was a little more aggressive sometimes. But I get it. I mean, you don't want to be wrong. That's a lot of pressure as well. As dumb as that is, it's a lot of pressure, and I think we've done a better job of having them later in the game. And obviously, Sean Murphy, notwithstanding the first two batter of the game, but it's not like we I like the fact that as long as you have at least one for 7th, 8th, 9th, I think you got to be confident in yourself and confident in what you're doing, and I think we've been much better at that. So I would agree with that. But hopefully we'll find a more consistency with it. But I mean, it just shows you how good the umpires are and how bad they can be if they have an off day, if they're the older generation umpires. It happens. I love it, the ABS, because it takes the egregious ones out of play. So
there's no panic, and he knows he's got club that can make a run, and so you just continue to work every day, and we're gonna work through this. Okay, the Walls follows this one down the line. The Walls become a better hitter too. Well, he's hit 198. I was just about to ask this. No home runs. He's batting 9. He's a terrific defensive shortstop.
He will probably be hi Tony. He'll probably be part of the staff, but I think they go.
You feel that too. You feel it. You know. They got this. This guy's over my shoulder coming.
I think they know they go with the World Series winning manager as the manager, but I would guess that he would be part of the staff.
This is kind of the environment you would like to see him get in. This is one side you never want to be losing the game.
I think Acuna's been a lot better recently. I think he does. I think some of them, yes, have been emotional challenges for sure, but I think he's gotten better. I really do. I think he's gotten better at now, the one bugaboo for the Braves that I want to see changed is the base runners and base stealing and getting picked up. Now, getting thrown out stealing, that I can live with more than the pickoffs. And I know we've been able to kind of withstand it, but the one in Seattle was really bad, and there's been some bad ones. So hopefully we kind of lose that a little bit.
He's late. That ball's right down the middle.
Yeah, Acuna was starting to hit, and he's actually been statistically one of the most unlucky home run hitters, where he should have four, 5, or 6 based on the wind conditions or the ballpark, but mostly the wind conditions. I think 3 or 4 of them got knocked down by the wind. So I think. So I think that's going to be. I think Acuna is going to be fine, and Acuna impacts the game no matter if he's hitting or not, because he's either walking. Sorry for the allergies again. But Acuna impacts everything from batters not taking extra bases, from walking, turning the lineup over, deep counts, things of that nature. So it's going to be great when he comes back. And the depth and versatility of the lineup is so obviously there's a lot of good hard decisions to have. And we've definitely we just haven't had this in a while. So, and how aggressive Walt Weiss plays it usually when we're winning. and trying to win games and coming back in the one run games and things of that nature. It's just a different vibe, and the vibes matter. And what we did in spring training wasn't a fluke. And I just love the love everything we're doing. Uh, Richardson, maybe not. I guess you could say that they're not used to it, but it's May. It's a quarter pole. I think they've got to trust themselves. Um, they're ball players. They know the situations. I think that's part of it, but I don't think you can continue to use that as an excuse, even though it's probably a reality. I think that's just got to be ironed out and got to be better, and the guys know that. I mean, you don't want to not be aggressive, and I'm fine. Again, I don't want to get thrown out at second base, but if you get thrown out stealing, that's better than getting picked off before you steal. So that I just don't want the pickoffs. The caught stealing, that's a better it's not better, but it's a more forgivable because you're being aggressive. Some of the pickoffs just feel like you're not even they're not some of the pickoffs not locked in. So and again, not used to Anthony Richardson's idea, but you've seen Riley, Olsen, those guys have picked their spots and gotten some clutch steals that have led to runs in some games too. So you take the good with the bad. I just don't like the pickoffs. Caught stealing is a different story. But yeah, that's like the only fly in the ointment. So if that's the only bugaboo I have so far, I mean, you take that, and as much as the bullpen the bullpen shuffling, it's ended up working out nicely. I mean, again, you're gonna have clunkers and things of that nature, and pitchers are gonna be in slumps, and yeah, I don't think there's a question that Hefner has been way better than Kranitz, but Kranitz had like half a hand tied behind his back. The entire pitching staff was like gone for the year last year, and I'm not saying that Hefner's dealt with a ton too. I'm not saying that. I think it's just an unfair thing because Kranitz was a vital piece in all of our division titles and World Series run. I just think Hefner Hefner has been incredible, and um, he has dealt with a lot too. But I think he's younger and kind of probably has a better verbiage for guys, maybe. That kind of helps them work through things. And I think Kranitz did too, but I just think that Hefner, it has just been everything and more advertised, and he's not even working with a full staff at all, or the expected staff anyway, and just so many different personalities and ages and things of that nature. It's been incredible. So yeah, I think Hefner's done a better job, but I also think that it was apples to oranges for Rick Kranitz and Hefner. But yeah, I think they both did a great job. But I think that Rick Kranitz being judged for last year, it's a little unfair. But I get where you're coming from, and I'm just so glad. Well, that would be amazing if Waldrop can can come back in that timeline. Because again, it gives you even more of options and different things. But again, and I feel like the way we've started, you don't have to rush at all. So that's even better. It really can't get any better, and I think that even if we have a bad series or a bad stretch, I don't think it's going to last as long because of the depth of versatility and the mindset of this team, and how hard they work and how hard they grind, and they understand how baseball is so hard. And that may seem now we'll see tomorrow. I just wish Murphy could have some consistency to figure it out. In terms of like at bat, the way our lineup is, and Drake Baldwin catching half the time and DHing, the consistency isn't there, and the constant injury and worrying about getting injured and the mindset. I don't think that's been a fair shake for Murphy either. So I agree. I hope that Murphy's finger isn't bad and figure it out. But yeah, I agree. I'm from a family of catchers, so I appreciate the work and the art of a good catcher. And regardless of Murphy's offensive stuff, which I know matters, he can call a game, and I think it's very important for our pitching staff. So I hope he can come back in that way as well. And he did. He was fantastic with Elder. I know they had a little snafu yesterday about pitching and pitch selection and all that, but Strider looked the most confident he's looked in a while on Saturday. So
You're lefty and you can run the ball. I mean, this is man, I'm telling you.
Who, Murphy or Strider? No, Strider hasn't pitched at home yet, and Murphy hasn't played at home yet.
You have to explain why. Because if I'm sitting at home right now, I'm like, why is he go ahead? I first, Stephen Vogt clearly doesn't agree with this. He's a former catcher. He understands what it means to pitchers. But managers hate addressing why they allowed a pitcher to go first. And an accomplishment that front offices could care less about. They want their assets.
But yeah, Strider and Murphy have not played at Truist yet. Hopefully we can take advantage of being at home. Yeah, so they'll be there, so that'll be fun. Hopefully, as long as we get good news on Murphy. But yeah, this start of the season is fantastic. Any way you slice it, and Dom Smith's been an incredible pickup. Martin Perez, and any role in every role, it really is nice to see that Robert Suarez, Iggy, the unselfishness of this roster and just wanting to win, and not there's no ego where it doesn't feel like it. Yeah, Ha-Seong Kim being back, just all of it's amazing. All of it really, 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 really is. And I would obviously they're not all going to be a house of fire coming back from the injuries, but the possibilities are endless, really, for this team, and it's fantastic. And the and the minor leagues, all those guys doing amazing. Hartman, Tate Southacene, all those young guys showing up and showing out. I know they're young, but the joy of that. Owen Murphy starting in AAA, just seeing the constant depth and development there. Isaiah Drake, it's really great. It really is. I'm assuming we'll see James Karachek at some point, probably. He's not a minor leaguer, but he's been in our bullpen, been pitching pretty solid there as well. So those are some names to continue to watch and continue to watch develop. The one disappointment probably in the minors is Laura. I just thought he would be a kind of a lights out piece in the bullpen, but his command, he hasn't been able to really consistently find that. That's probably the most unfortunate piece there so far. I mean, and Daysville Hernandez hasn't got the walk bug out either, really. So that's a little unfortunate, but I don't know. I would assume a moment of silence and maybe a couple of jersey patches and possibly a number 6 in the outfield, just like they did for Hank Aaron, but that would just be my guesses. But I'm sure they'll do something very good and very touching. They did it all during the second game against the Dodgers. Everybody did that so well. So I'm really, it's a sad time when that stuff happens, but it also just kind of brings people together because you love them, and everyone loves them for a multitude of reasons, and and it feels really good. I mean, the not losing people, but coming together and celebrating those people, it's it warms your heart, and that's why a lot of people love sports. And
Bryce Eldridge, 6'7", left-handed slugger, is not in the starting lineup for the San Francisco Giants, and they're facing a right-handed starting pitcher.
We're undefeated. Since that, like it, sports are unmatched. When you're trying to, when you're saying that couldn't have happened, well, sports have a different. Sports are unmatched when creating stories and making things happen, and that's why I love them, and that's why we all love them, because you never know what's going to happen, and unexplainable things happen, and it's a good thing for it. That's great. I everybody comes together when things like this happen and become a family in terms of the tributes and the love. And that's the great part of sports and what they mean, and that will that will never change. And that's one of my favorite things about it, and it's incredible. Yeah. So I seven might be the lucky number, but I think the I think three is the bad.
Just like that, we had two unloaded. Wow, a lot of people at the Rogers Center on a Monday night. That's what a World Series.
I think three is the bad number because we've lost a couple of games 3-1, but.
You saw it coming. That's what I love about doing this show as long as we have. You see guys slowly starting to get their sea legs. And we slowly got closer to 8 p.m. Eastern. Slowly but surely, big innings just went its way. But first, your Capital One Premier place. Young comes home. Judge lines it into right field. O'Neill coming on. He dives. And he made the catch. Tyler O'Neill laid out towards the infield on a sinking liner. And that's
I think every time we score 6, that's gonna be known as the Bobby Cox. But so yeah, but I agree. I think 6 is gonna feel a little different for all of us, and not a bad thing whatsoever. But I think that's all I got, guys. I think it's crazy that there's only 3 teams over 500 at the American League. Um, the Yankees, the A's, and the Rays. And again, I think the Rays are doing Rays things where not a lot of people are talking about them, and probably should be. But that's the greatness of baseball. I think that there will be some more consistency, but the NL is now the powerhouses.
Job site conditions change by the hour. Most workwear isn't built for that. So we go further.
Yeah. Yeah, all the legends have done a nice job talking about Bobby Cox and Ted Turner and honoring them, and I think we'll do that throughout the season, and as it should. And I think watching the games and watching it play out, I think we'll all think of Bobby every single time, and that's how it should be as well. But how we're playing is the best way to honor Bobby, and I think that will continue for sure. But it's just been such a fun ride. Obviously now emotional, but in the best way possible, because baseball and sports kind of have a way of doing that always, and that matters. And the fact that almost every Braves legend has has made a point to say to honor him in some way, honor them in some way, and just it's fantastic. So obviously it'll be interesting to see how it continues the season and how we continue to rotate the pieces and things of that nature. Yeah. So as always, go Braves, champions forever. Have a great night, guys. I will post on my social the next time I do a live watch or a live chat. Obviously, with all the sports and all the things, schedule, lifing, all that stuff. It's not as consistent as I would like, but also not trying to give any bad mojo to the Braves either. So trying to balance all that stuff. But thanks for the support, love. As always, go Braves, champions forever. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps out a lot. Thanks, guys. See y'all next time.
So you can take it. Aaron says for me. Aaron doesn't like Aaron doesn't like no hitters, but if you look at the permissions, he'll think about it. Now you got to be very efficient. So let's take a look and see if Ryan Weathers.
Oh, where's the exit button? Oh, there.
Change piece looks good, man. Good fastball in the right.